All right, folks, this is Gray here, and we're going to do our first Dollar Tree food haul from this Dollar Tree right behind me. Basically, we're going to have anything from, we're going to probably run it from anywhere from $50 to $100. That's what I got to spend, and that's about it here. So let's see how much food can we get from a Dollar Tree, because there's a lot of folks out there that, they're prepping on a budget. So let's see if you can go into a Dollar Tree and how much food you can get, anywhere between 50 to 100 bucks. I'll show you the receipt or the tally and all that jazz. And then we'll take it back to the Prepper Pantry and see what we got from this Dollar Tree food haul. All right, folks, and we're back from our first ever Dollar Tree food haul. And I'm going to show you everything I got, why I picked certain things. But first, as always, I'd like to go over a couple of different things things that I've noticed in the Dollar Tree and some things for you guys to be careful of when you're shopping for food in the Dollar Tree. So basically, our total came out to just under $100. And like I said, we did a little shopping around. I looked at some of the stuff that they had on one aisle versus the other aisle, and different foods that they had, from the canned goods to the pastas to the beans and some of the drinks and condiments. And I learned that there is a good amount of quality foods in there. But one thing that I did notice that I want to make sure everybody is aware of is two things when you're shopping for canned goods specifically. Is one, you want to make sure that your cans aren't dented. I noticed at the Dollar Tree that there was a lot of different cans on the shelves that had some regular dents, some small dents, and some really huge major dents. And then another thing I wanted to mention is also what I noticed is certain things, specifically Campbell's. I noticed most of Campbell's foods, the soups and all that stuff like that, have bioengineered ingredients. Now, some folks may not care about that. Personally, I do. I'd like to know what's going inside my body, even though some things aren't the healthiest that I consume or my family consumes. But we try to look away from, staying away from things that are bioengineered. Moving on to what we got here. We'll go through each individual item and why I picked these items and some of the things and reasons why I picked these items, as well as I wanted to make a statement in regards to some of the things that I got. This is my first ever Dollar Tree haul. I want to reiterate that for you folks watching this video. And some folks may not like certain things that I got, or may have, certain things that they just wouldn't buy or consume. This is the things that I decided to buy. And just to give you guys an idea who watch videos like this, or these prepper hauls and pantry hauls and stuff like this, is something of the nature of things that you can get at a Dollar Tree when prepping on a budget. Because a lot of questions I've gotten asked over the last couple prepping haul videos that I've done, and usually I like to try to get these done every couple of weeks now, because you guys really truly seem to enjoy these type of videos. And I plan on expanding things by going further with these prepper hauls, different places, let's say Costco's, BJ's, Sam's, Winn-Dixie, Publix, Aldi's, and kind of Aldi's and Winn-Dixie are very similar now. And I heard a rumor that Aldi's, since they're buying Winn-Dixie, they might be liquidating a lot of things in your local Winn-Dixie. So you might want to keep an eye out for that if you're trying to stock up on some things on the cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just trying to wipe out a lot of Winn-Dixie's products to move in their products. So that's I wanted to bring your attention to that. So keep an eye out if you have a Winn-Dixie in your area, and Aldi's happen to purchase that Winn-Dixie, which I think they encompasses all. You might want to look out for some really major deals. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much, even though I do apologize. These videos go long because there's a lot of stuff to go over. I thank all of you for taking the time to watch the video in its entirety. It does truly help the channel out. Second of all, last thing I wanted to mention is someone had mentioned is that, hey, for some reason they took the title of one of my videos and they thought that I was actually going to a food pantry and buying food and then storing it in my own pantry. And that's the last thing that any of us out there do in regards to prepping, at least from my perspective, and most of the folks that I know that do these type of things for emergency preparedness. We do not go to food banks, and we do not buy foods or get free food from them and then show a bunch of free stuff that could have gone to people that are less fortunate. I myself try to help local food banks whenever I can. Matter of fact, this year here in November, I will be donating a lot of food, not my own food, but food that I'm going to go out and purchase to Deb, one of the people that I'm going to be working with in a local food bank here to help folks that are less fortunate, that just can't afford food because the economy is in the situation that it is now. Regardless of what they say about inflation, food itself is becoming an issue for people to afford. They're having to cut out a lot of different things just to get the necessities for their families. Anyways, folks, let's move into the first ever Dollar Tree food haul. And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know down in the comments. And if you want to see, have other ideas that you would like to see in regards to food hauls and things like that. And stay tuned to the end of this video because I have a question for you, my viewers. It's something when I was walking around Dollar Tree, an epiphany came to me and I said, I have a great idea. Let me pitch it to my viewers and see their thoughts. All right, folks. So let's start on this side and we'll work our way towards that side of the table. So pork rinds. A lot of people, you know, this is really not a long-term food storage, but they had them for $1 there, which is, I can find that price other places. But outside of just a healthy little snack, what I like to do with pork rinds themselves is to crush them up into a fine powder and then use an egg wash and wash my chicken or other meats, dip the meat in the egg wash and then bread it with the pork rinds for a low carb or no carb kind of option. Sometimes I'll also mix Parmesan cheese in this mix, and I'll take the pork rinds, like I said, to powder it, and then add some Parmesan cheese, mix it all together, take my chicken, egg wash it, and then dip it in this mixture. It makes a nice little healthy snack if you're into those kind of things. All right, so then I decided to get some of the apple cider vinegar that they have there. And I've talked about this before because I do usually get Bragg's, but I wanted to grab this here because of the fact it was affordable and a lot cheaper than some of the apple cider vinegar that I found. Now, the question is how effective it is. I did look at the ingredient list, and it looks pretty standard and basic. So I grabbed a few of them because outside of just using it for cooking and other things, there's a lot of different things that apple cider could be used for, even a lot of different medicinal purposes. And even my daughter said, oh, I love apple cider vinegar. I like to use that in a bath sometimes when, you know, certain issues happen to arise. They had some pink Himalayan salt. Again, like I said, sometimes we have to wonder, you know, the quality of it, but everything that I looked under, I couldn't find anything new. I got to do more research on the company. But for $1 or $1.25 these days and age, because the Dollar Tree's not the Dollar Tree anymore, it's the $1.25 tree. I grabbed a couple of these to check those things out, and I figured this would be a nice little option to have. And of course, salt has pretty much an indefinite shelf life. And then we're going to move on to some condiments. Again, mustard. I use a lot of mustard myself for a lot of different things. And I noticed there's a reflection on here. I think I'm going to turn off this light because it seems a little bright. We'll see how it looks. So 1 second, folks. All right, that seems a little better. I was trying to put the light on because it seems a little dark in this room. Again, there's no outside light in this room because I like to keep it cool, dark, and dry because it is my long-term food pantry. But they had mustard, a pretty good size. The size was, where's it at? 20 ounces. Again, I don't know if you guys know, if you guys ever have heartburn, and this is going to sound crazy until you try it, but if you ever have heartburn, you take a little teaspoon of this stuff. Believe it or not, this will get rid of heartburn as well, outside of just using it as a condiment. So we got a couple of those in that. And moving on to, let's go into the beans and to explain why I got the beans. So you notice there's northern beans, there's the pinto beans, the kidney beans, and black beans. A whole different types of beans. Each one of these are, I think, where is it at? I think these are 1 pound beans, right? A little under a pound. So what I'm going to do with this is I like to make a soup that has a mixture of beans. It's like a mixed bean soup where it has a lot of different beans. Beans have nice protein and fiber in them. Plus beans can, of course, be stored for long term if you decide to put those away. For that purpose, I've done some videos on that. I can link them up here on the video if you want to check those out about how I store my beans. But so what I'm going to do is like do a multi-bean soup. With these, you soak them, of course, and let them get ready, and then you kind of make this soup, add some spices and stuff like that. It's a really good nutritional meal, at least from my perspective. All right, so moving on to the cream corn that I picked up. And if you notice, I got a lot of things in 4s because I didn't want to go too crazy just yet. Plus, I wanted to see if I can keep it under $100. So sweet corn. Outside of just eating sweet corn, I like to make cornbread because, I live here in the South. And with the cornbread, I like to mix this into my cornbread mix, and it just gives the cornbread that much more of a sweeter taste. and more of a moisture content. And I love when I mix this in with the cornbread mix. It just tastes so good. If you haven't tried it, folks, give it a try. There's a lot of recipes online when it comes to that. So we got 4 cans of the cream corn. And then I grabbed some yams. A lot of you folks know that for emergencies, just in case Thanksgiving ever gets ruined and there's a, let's say something happens like a pandemic, ironically enough, and you can't get to the grocery store or things are in short supply, having all the things to make yourself a Thanksgiving out of a can might be an option. But I grabbed 4 things of yams. These are not the healthiest because they're in syrup. If you grow your own sweet potatoes or something, or yams themselves, it's better to do it yourself. But in a pinch, this will come in handy. And it goes along with everything else that I've been buying over the last year. For instance, like I said, the Keystone turkey that's up there to add to a Thanksgiving meal. All right, moving on to hard candy. It is getting close to December, the holidays, and candy I always keep in my go bags and packs. I like peppermint myself. And what I like about it is candy, of course, also has pretty much, some people say, an indefinite shelf life, so you can store these away. But if you're ever out on a trail and you have some hard candy, you can take some of this hard candy and, suck on a couple of pieces. And of course, that sugar content is going to give you that little bit of a burst of energy in case you're dragging. It's not the healthiest option, but it works in a pinch. And I saw them there and I figured, why not grab some? Also, in regards to the trail, the reason why I picked up these, I love sunflower seeds, and you can buy them, of course, with the seeds still on there. But I like this just because it makes it easier. Plus, I make my own trail mix, and I saw this, and I just grabbed 1 pack of it because, I need to make some more trail mix, so that's one of the things. And if you guys ever want to see my kind of trail mix that I like to make and use with my dehydrated foods that I do, sometimes I'll add stuff like this in there, and it makes a nice little healthy snack to put in a go bag or just take with you to work or wherever that you might do. It's nice to make your own versus buying the pre-made packages. Now this here, I was kind of surprised. Again, I always think about, I have a garden, but asparagus is not super easy to grow, and asparagus can be very expensive. These spears aren't very huge, but I saw them in there. I'm going to give them a try. I don't know if any of you folks have tried the Dollar Tree asparagus. Please let me know down in the comments, because I'd really like to know how it is. Of course, I'm going to add some butter and garlic on these things. And the shelf life on this, or the best buy date, as you can see, BBD, best buy date, not expiration date, best buy date, it says July 2026. So they will store for some time. Again, I like also the fact that these are glass, so that I can reuse these jars for other purposes and storing other products in them once I'm done using them. Less waste is always a good, always a good policy, especially if you can buy things in glass. And the reason I picked this chili is because it says all beef chili with beans. I looked at them. I bought 6 cans of this because it has protein in it, because it's beans and meat. And I looked at the label and I tried to see if I could find anything on here that said bioengineered or anything like that. And I didn't see it on there. I'm looking to make sure. I didn't see any GMO stuff or any other weird things that kind of jumped out at me. Of course, there's all kinds of other ingredients that are probably not the best, but all in all, in a pinch, as always, this would come in handy because it has beef in it, it has chili in it, or chili beef, and it's seasoned already with the beans, and it would make a nice quick fast snack and a nice comfort snack, especially let's say in a hurricane situation. You can just eat it right out of the can, or you can heat it up if you have some sort of way of heating your food up when you're in a situation like a natural disaster. Grab 4 cans of the beets specifically. And I like beets personally. I know some folks just can't stand beets, but there's a couple recipes that I use with beets. And they're just very healthy and nutritious, so I figured I'd grab them, and I was surprised at Del Monte, not too much of a bad price. And I was paying attention a lot to the best buy dates on there because I wanted to know how old the food was inside Dollar Tree, and they had a pretty good track record outside of those dented cans that I came across on many of the shelves. So I had, of course, pull my cans and check the integrity of the cans, also looking at the bottoms, around the edges. Integrity of the can was in good shape. So my daughter loves to use some of the pasta that I store and that I prep. She loves Alfredo pasta, so I figured why not? It's in a can, decent good shelf life, it's non-acidic, so this can store for quite some time beyond its best buy date. So I grabbed a few cans of this to try it out and see if she likes it, and if she does, we'll end up buying a lot more. And of course, whenever I see just any type of sauces in cans, as you guys folks know, I like the garlic and herb, and down there is the meat version of it. I mean, you can see it down there. I don't feel like moving that. but I grabbed a few more cans of that to add to the already spaghetti sauces that I have. Now, again, you can make your own, but in a time of drought or anything situation like that happens to arise and you need sauce on demand, this will be the most fastest, efficient way, and the storage options are, like I said, in a can, will last you quite some time. But remember, a lot of this will have added sugars in it, and it can also be acidic, so over time, sauces, specifically anything with citrus or tomato sauces, stuff like that, can be very acidic to the integrity of the can, so you might want to keep an eye on those and keep those in heavy rotation. All right, moving over here to the broth. Again, I told you folks before, I prefer broth in cans versus the cartons, or even a broth in jars if you make your own broth when you cook food, which is also another way to make a healthy broth, is whenever you're cooking, you're boiling down some chicken and stuff like that, is to use that broth or make your own bone broth. But I figured, it's in a can, it's Swanson. I went with it. I tried to look on this can as well. So I looked at this can as well to see if there was any bioengineered stuff. And as you can see, it just says chicken stock, salt, natural flavorings, which is something you got to watch out for with this natural flavorings, because what is natural flavorings? Chicken fat, yeast extract, carrot juice concentrate, celery concentrate, and onion juice concentrate. So at least nothing that says it right off, because they're supposed to let you know if it has some sort of bioengineered or GMO stuff in there. So I thought that was nice. All right, so moving down here, Starkist tuna was on sale. And sometimes the tuna over there, I saw signs that said 89 cents versus $1.25. And again, so I bought lots of tuna. Tuna is always great to have. It's nice and protein. I prefer to get it in water. And the reason why is because if it's in oil, oil has a tendency to go rancid. And that's why I like to buy things that are in water, specifically the tuna. And tuna usually has a decent best by date on there. I don't know if I can zoom up on that or not. Let's add some light to this. If I can get some light in here and look at the best by date on that, which is 2027. So again, tuna also stores well. I grabbed, let's say, there's 4, so 4 times 4 is 16 cans of tuna. I know I have tuna in other places, but I was getting a little bit low in certain spots, so why not grab some more, especially for the deal that I got. All right, and then I figured in case I'm making some meals, I would get something, not just one vegetable, but a kind of a vegetable blend with carrots, green beans and corn and peas in it. And I figured this would be an idea to grab some of this stuff like that. And I don't know how many of you folks are label readers like myself, but I usually just kind of peruse over them, I guess, if that's the proper term, and just kind of look at what's inside some of these cans, because I want to make sure I know what, or at least have some good idea of what I'm consuming. And of course, they could always lie to you, but I don't think, usually they like to let you know that they're using certain types of ingredients in their products. But anyways, grab a little vegetable blend, because when I'll probably take the vegetable blend and when I make my bean soup, I could just add these to it and make it really quick and fast, because this is already going to take some time after I soak my beans and get that whole process going. So I got 4 cans of that. And then, I don't know how many folks like Spam. So these are about half the size of a normal Spam can, but figure for $1.25. And if you add that together to get a full-size can of Spam, so if you grab 2 of these, which I think is a little bit, it could be about either double the size, or either the size of a Spam, or maybe that, I don't know, I'd have to go grab a Spam can, but I'll look at this here, and I figured 2 of them would equal almost the size of it. So even for $2.50, it's still cheaper to buy this versus name brand Spam, or other luncheon loaves that are out there. So I figured I'd grab a couple of those. Again, like I told you guys in the past, my daughter loves this stuff, and I figured I would check it out for her and let her give me the taste test. We're going to do a special on Spam itself. I'm going to do a deep dive on Spam. For you folks that are interested in this, I'm going to look at pricing, consistency, and flavor. And we're going to do kind of a deep dive on this kind of luncheon loaf, this kind of meat. Some people either hate it or love it, but everybody's different, and everybody has different taste buds and wants and needs when it comes to food and what they're consuming. So last but not least, some of you folks are probably wondering, why did he get cookies? Why would Grey get cookies? Well, my wife loves these cookies, folks. She prefers, of course, the bigger tins, but she loves these cookies, these butter cookies. She likes to have them with her coffee. And here's what I like about them. I don't really eat these too much myself. Of course, my daughter and the wife, but specifically the wife loves these things. So what I like to do is I buy these because of the tin, because these tins are reusable, and you can use these tins for a lot of different things to store other products in. Anything from seeds, anything from grains. There's a lot of little different things that you can throw in here. Usually I use it for seed storage and whatnot. But all in all, she loves these cookies, and it's a win-win for both of us because she gets the cookies, and I get the tin. So to me, that was a win-win. And folks, that is going to kind of encompass everything we got for a hair under $100 in this first ever Dollar Tree haul, food haul specifically. So I really want to get your thoughts on what I got. In your Dollar Tree, do you guys have different foods? Is there some of these foods that are not in your Dollar Tree? I'm very curious how Dollar Trees differ around the country. Would love to hear from you down in the comments in regards to all the things that I got, plus the things that you might purchase at the Dollar Tree, and get some ideas from you folks. So next time I'm in the Dollar Tree, I can kind of look at some of your comments and say, oh, I remember so-and-so stated this. Let me grab some of these items and add them to my prepper pantry, and also see how they taste. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this and got some ideas in regards to this video and how to, prep on a budget, because folks, I know things are getting rough out there and the time is now to stock up your prepper pantry. But anyways, I want to know your guys' thoughts on the Dollar Tree prepping hauls. Do you think the Dollar Tree is cost effective when it comes to purchasing food, either for general shopping or for, a pantry that you want for long-term food storage, and so on and so forth? And then here's my question to you as well is, I thought about, for a lot of folks who watch my videos are, focused on emergency preparedness. And I thought, could I put a cost-effective, affordable, but efficient 72-hour emergency kit from the Dollar Tree? If you guys want to see me put something together, like a 72-hour emergency kit, if there's a hurricane or for whatever emergency happens to present itself, I'd like to do that video for you guys if you guys are interested in that. And put a kit together and see all the things that I get. We'll use the 5 C's of survival, like combustion and cordage and stuff like that, to add to that 72-hour kit. And we'll also look at stuff like what the government expects out of a 72-hour kit versus some of the things that I know it belongs in a 72-hour kit, and things that I need specifically in my area, because we're hurricane prone in Florida. Other than that, if you did get any value out of the video, I truly appreciate the thumbs up. And if you're new here, please take the time to subscribe. It's very appreciative. And check out the rest of the other pantry hauls. I'm thinking about putting a playlist together so that for you folks that just want to see pantry hauls in general, you can just kind of click on that playlist. And that'll be a list of all the prepper pantry hauls that I've done over the last couple of years. They're going to be more frequent as of now because people seem to really enjoy this type of content. So I like to cater to my viewers and give you guys what you want. Other than that, folks, remember, you are not alone. This is GreyMan. I'm out. I'll see you guys in a rebound. God bless. Again, thank you for watching.